We continue our series of 4 interviews with 3 candidates who have filed petitions to run for Knox County mayor. They are all Republicans and all have agreed to join us over these few weeks to talk about their priorities for the county. And the framework for our conversations is focused on the biggest slices of the almost $800 million county budget. Brad Anders joins us once again to talk about this topic, which is debt services. He's served in the police department for more than 24 years, close to 26, I think,
yes,
and also as a county commissioner. So that's a little bit of his experience. But let's talk about debt service. It makes up about 10% of the county budget. How important is it?
Well, it's very important. Those large items such as schools and roads, new road construction, all get folded into that capital budget. And so that debt is very important, that you don't get too much of it and that you get good rates on it. And so it's extremely important. We spend about $40 million a year on debt service, and so that's very important to our tax base.
One of the things that will face the new mayor is whether to increase taxes to pay for what is an exploding population in Knox County. Do you foresee ever needing to raise taxes in the next 4 years as mayor?
Well, we hope not. We hope that growth continues to be what it is. You know, we're having growth in our revenue from property values going up. We're having growth in sales tax revenues. And so there's just a whole lot of growth. And so hopefully that we can continue to do what we need to do with that growth.
What will tell you that you might have to change that thinking? Is it infrastructure? What could turn that page?
Yeah, I think that, you know, the last couple of years, the last 4 years, our debt has increased. You know, we got it from $700 million down to, you know, 630, 640, something like that. And now we're creeping back up because we had to build 2 middle schools to help the growth. And so we're back at 661, 662 at the end of this year. And so you got to make sure that you don't, you know, your revenues and your debt don't come to 100%, because in 2011 we were at 100% debt ratio on our income. And so we're back down to 80, and so keeping that number in that range and lowering our debt's important.
Mayor Burchett has talked at length about being AA, AAA bond rating. Do you foresee that continuing with Knox County? Is it about keeping that debt in line?
Well, that's a lot. The reason we're not AAA is because our debt is above average. And so I think the reviews would say that we need to be around the $500 million range to get AAA status. We're still getting great rates on our bonds with our ratings, and we're very heavy in our rating, but our debt does cause us from getting a AAA rating.
So for the record, before we leave, is a tax increase in an administration under Brad Anders unlikely unless we see something dramatic happen?
I would like to live on our growth, but to take it off the table is really pandering, because you don't know what's going to happen 3 years down the road, 4 years down the road. And there's a lot of roads that we need to build, and have that discussion and keeping our debt low while doing that, like we've done with the schools, is very critical.
Appreciate the conversation.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
again.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week as well.